Alright, so we're looking at a 0-3 Lucian loss. So the first thing you always want to do when you get into a game is just look at the team comps and see what's going on. Alright, so you have a Ryze versus Pantheon top. Um, Pantheon just wins 99% of lanes on merit of being Pantheon, so that's probably going to be bad for you guys. You have a Zed and Lucian. Woo. Alright, that's going to be spicy. So. Yeah. Lucian versus Poppy is whatever. Um, Zed versus LeBlanc. Zed should win that lane. If he knows what he's doing, of course. LeBlanc can win it if this Zed has no clue how to abuse his champion. But what you really want to watch out for is LeBlanc roams. Because if LeBlanc loses this lane, actually it doesn't matter if LeBlanc loses or wins this lane, but especially if she loses this lane, she's going to look to come bot, right? Because she'll play like Katarina. Katarina's whole goal in life, like she knows she's going to lose lane, but she's just going to come bot and get double kills and over again, and that's how she's going to win the game for herself and for her team. So you should watch out for that come mid game. Or if she just starts feeding. Like as soon as she hits level 6, she's going to try and come down here and kill you guys. Or she would if she was good. Hopefully Zed roams bot too, but you can never really count on that. And then this bot lane matchup. Playing versus Soraka is a pain in the ass because the way trading against a team with Soraka works is you can't trade against a Soraka lane because all that happens is the Tristana walks up 1v2 against you guys, and unless she gets hit with something, all she's gonna do is like trade and hit you, and she'll probably take more damage than you do, but she'll get healed up, and that's how it's gonna work over and over again. So you don't really want to trade with them because it's not gonna work out. Like you need to burst probably the Soraka down if you can. Ideally, what you want to do is abuse a level 2 power spike, right? Now, Leona's power spike is at level 3, yours is at level 2. But the real reason you want to abuse a level 2 power spike is because Soraka with one ability is just kind of useless. So you can abuse that. Just go ahead and try and like all in her by getting an early level 2. So if you can kill the Soraka once, life might be easier. If you can kill the Tristana with an early like level 1, like if Soraka takes Q or something, that would be really good. That would set them really far behind. But you want to try and get one of them with a level 2 power spike. The other thing you need to worry about is this Poppy, because Poppy's W, like Steadfast Presence, or whatever it's called, yeah. Poppy's W fucks over Lucian's dash, it fucks over Leona's E, and it fucks over Lee Sin's W. And whenever you're thinking about lanes, you shouldn't just think about it in terms of the 1v1 or the 2v2. You should be thinking about lanes in terms of the 3v3. You have to include the jungler. And so what happens if like your jungler, your support, and your ADC versus their bot lane and their jungler? Their jungler fucks all of you, right? He fucks all of Lee Sin's engage and all of your E, and he fucks your Leona's E. So you lose a lot of engage presence versus her. If Poppy comes bot and she counter ganks, it's really liable to go wrong. So you should be worried about the 3v3 with you guys, and probably just like after level 2, if you can't get anything off the level 2, you just probably need to like play passive and farm, and reach that two item power spike with Lucian, and hope you can abuse that. Because otherwise like this lane just isn't gonna work because of the Soraka. It sucks, but that's how you have to play it. Oh my god. Hold on. I love phone calls from people I don't know. Let's see. Okay. let's talk about what you should do here. As Lucian, you want to abuse your level 2 power spike in a number of lanes. This lane is no different. So how do you do that, right? People always talk about the level 2 power spike or whatever, but how the fuck do you actually abuse it? You need to push the wave. It's going to be hard versus Tristana because her E passive, if she took E first, yes she did, her E passive causes her, like whenever she kills a minion, to detonate and deal a small amount of magic damage, and that automatically pushes the wave for her. But you can still outpush her because of the way your Q works. So all you need to do this is you need to walk up to these two minions, like right about here. And you want to Q through them and hit those 3 backline minions. Right? If you can hit all 5 of these minions with 1 Q, or even just 4 of them, you will push the wave because you're doing enough damage, you're doing a lot of damage to it. And the only way she can counter that is if she E's the wave. But I don't think she knows what she's doing, and I don't think she'd recognize what you're doing. And she can't, like, I don't think she's smart enough to counter push, is what I'm saying. So if you just Q this wave, you'll push it, and that'll give you the ability to get level 2 first. Which is what you want. And especially with these procs from her relic shield, it'll help. Alright, so you're getting cheese ganked level 2. Let's see how this goes. Okay. So you Q her. We'll slow this down. Okay. So she is walking down, right? And the way Poppy's E works is that if she will push you back, if she hits you with it, and she's going to try and slam you into the wall. Because if she pushes you into a wall, it stuns you. And Tristana's getting close enough to almost follow up. So you need to worry about that. If she slams you into a wall, you're 100% dead. If she pushes you back, you may not be dead, but you'll probably take a lot of damage. And if you take a lot of damage, you won't be able to stay in lane and farm. So in this situation, it's probably better to just flash. Because if she clicks E on you and you flash, she'll just push you back into turret range, and she won't do anything, and she may take a fuck ton of damage from tower, actually. So that's what you need to do to get the most out of this gank. Right? Like, yeah, you lose flash, but you're Lucian, so you have a dash on a pretty low cooldown. So it doesn't mean as much to you. And staying in lane and farming and getting enough for your serrated dirk or whatever you want to buy first is really important. You like getting items in the bot lane is what bot lane is all about. So you need to stay in this lane. You can't let yourself get low from this gank. Because if you get pushed back, you're going to take a lot of damage from Tristana. So you really just need to flash this. Like that's the best way to handle this gank. And what else? There's one other thing I wanted to say. Responding to cheese, like knowing how to cheese and knowing how to respond to cheese, like I said, pushing in and getting level 2 early and knowing how to respond to other cheese is very important. Because if you cheese, you'll win a lot of games that you otherwise wouldn't, and if you get cheese, you'll lose a lot of games that you otherwise wouldn't. And that mostly applies at low elos. Like, cheesing is a very viable way to get out of low elo. That's why people play shit like Warwick and Annie and Poppy jungle gank level 2 at 2 minutes. Like, that's why people play it. It's because it works at low elos, because people don't respect it and people don't know how to respond to it. Like, if you just get eat back here, and you're going to take a lot of damage, you might overstay and die to Tristana if you stay. Otherwise, you'll just have to back, and you'll probably lose a lot of creeps and experience, which is a pain in the ass. But if you just flash backwards, you'll be able to stay in this lane. Like, if you flash over her, you'll be fine. But that's the only way this works. The other thing is you should be walking down with her. Like, you should start pathing down right now, and then flash over her. Because if she has any chance at all of slamming into a wall, like if you just flash this way, and it doesn't go exactly where you want it, and you're like right here, and you get slammed into the wall, that's going to hurt too. So, oh yeah, you didn't tried to auto her. Yeah, and you take a lot of damage you don't need to, so you heal. You didn't flash, which is okay. This Soraka just died. That's funny. Okay. Yeah, you need to be careful because Poppy's probably going to try and stay. And your Tristana should just back too. Like, you should be pinging her to back right now. Because the other thing is, like, what do you gain from her staying, right? Like, you should also always try to communicate with your teammates. Even if you don't like them, even if you think they're fucking useless, communicating with them and trying to help them And helping them avoid deaths is a very important thing. Because if you can prevent a death on your team with communication, that's still like a net 300 gold for your team. And that is completely possible. So what you should be doing is you should be like pinging her to leave. Because all she's doing right now is wasting gold by using her pots. If she just backs, she can back and come back to lane with you, which is really important. Because by staying right now, this means that there's going to be a point where she has to back that you don't. And you're going to be alone in lane. And that's a really big opportunity for you to die. So what you really need to do right now is be pinging her to back. Just tell her that, hey, back. Doesn't matter if we lose the CS to turret or whatever. Because her getting an XP lead isn't like super important. Staying in lane, like it's more important that you're both there together at all times. Because if you back at separate times, it opens up a weakness. It opens up an opportunity that the enemy can abuse. Why are you trying to do that? If she went in on that, she just died all the minions. Holy shit, that feel when LeBlanc gets the dick straight onto him. Oh, she's bad. Holy shit, this LeBlanc is bad. Holy shit, she's going back in. Is she gonna get a kill? That'd be funny. Okay, so now you don't want to push the wave, right? And when I say you don't want to push the wave, that means you only last hit. Preferably at the last possible second. No, it's gonna auto push anyway. Yeah, you just want to wait as long as possible to last hit these minions. Because you want to wait for your minion wave to get here, and then once you have this big minion wave and this other minion wave gets here, you want to clear this other minion wave as fast as possible and try and push it under the turret. Because otherwise this is just going to slow push in favor of the enemy, and that's going to make it really easy for her to gank you. So when this wave is just right here, it's automatically going to push back towards them. Like whenever you have whenever you have waves of equal minions and it's on your side of the lane, it's going to slowly push back to her. The only way this wave will stay frozen here is if they have more minions. So you just need the last hit right now, and it's going to slow push towards her, and then this big wave comes here, and then you clear this next one as fast as you can and push it into the turret. Right? And then she'll have to CS a lot of minions under turret, and that gives you time to go and ward up against this Poppy who's just like intent on cheesing the universe. So. But instead you're kind of like fast pushing it. It's going to end up in the middle here. It might end up in a really bad spot. Like if it ends up like right here, this is bad for you because you're overextended and the Poppy might gank you again. Yeah, look at this. Why are you backing? What do you have right now? You have nothing. Okay, this is another reason why you want to back. This wave right here, 20, 40, 60, they average 20 gold when they're all together. So that's 60, 120 more gold, 500 gold. Yeah, you can get like a pink ward and a long sword if you take this next wave instead of just whatever you're going to do. Or you can get maybe boots too with this. But now this is really bad for you because now that Tristana has more minions on her side, she can freeze. If like it's hard for Tristanis to freeze, but you have so many extra minions over here, you have 3 extra minions, that she can probably do it. And it'll at least be stuck on this side of the lane for a long time, and this makes it really easy for the Poppy to gank you. Like if Poppy comes from behind you like that again, you're fucked. So, or if a LeBlanc comes behind you like that again, you're fucked. So what you should have done is just last hit this wave, and then you have 2 waves here, and then you just fucking clear this wave immediately as fast as possible. Because Tristana's not going to be back to lane in time. And this will push the wave into the tower. And if this Soraka wants to try and hold the wave so that the Tristana can come and catch it, she's going to take so much damage, and that is really good for you. But instead, you're going to lose all these creeps to these minions. You're going to lose all this golden XP, and they're not going to pay for it. So you've just like you fucked yourself with how you handled this minion wave. Right? There's no reason you should be losing this gold, even though your Leona wanted to back. She shouldn't have. Like you could have pretty safely pushed this if you were both there. So, this is your fault. You should ping her to stay. And this girl doesn't know what she's doing either, because she's like counter pushing it now. Holy shit! How do you guys lose this? Okay, yeah. So in the end, this wasn't too bad for you. But if you're playing against a better player, these 2 minions would both be dead. You would have lost this gold right here and this XP. and they would have frozen it. They wouldn't have kept autoing it like that. They would have kept it here. You would have been in a really good position to gank, and this wave would be over here for like the next 2 minutes. But instead, she's counter pushing it, and this ends up not being too bad for you. You get a third of the minion wave. Or whatever. Go on her. What's she doing here? Like, you can walk up and auto her. Soraka's not going to do shit to you. The Tristana was too far away. And you have your Leona with you. And if the Tristana goes in, the Leona should just be able to CC her and you can walk away. So you got a call. Which is interesting. And she got a dagger. Okay, these are both fantastic buys. If anyone should have bought that call, it should have been her. Since she's so far ahead. If I were you, I just would have bought a longsword. Because you want the armor pen items as quickly as you can get them. She shouldn't be doing this. It's good that you're following up, though. That exhaust is bad. Now you should just be pinging back to her. Because there's no way this works for long. Because she's just going to get healed up throughout the course of this fight. So you forced out their exhaust. That's good. This is Liliana engage. I'm curious how you guys lose this. So you need to be... Okay, right now, since you have this massive wave, walk up, Q through these minions, and hit those backline minions, right? Push this. You want to push this into tower. Pushing things into tower is a very important skill, because if this wave, this big cannon wave, ends up in front of their tower, they have to sit there under tower and try and CS it correctly. And that's so hard for Tristana. Tristana CSing under tower is probably one of the biggest pains in the asses in the universe. Because she can't. Like, she can't CS very well under tower, because her passive, her E-passive, which does damage to surrounding minions whenever she kills one, fucks her, right? It makes her CSing under tower so bad. So she'll miss, like, if she's a bad Tristana, she's going to miss, like, 4 of these backline creeps just from being pushed into tower. So you should be pushing her into tower right now. Like, you have the opportunity. You have the ability. So you should. Auto this guy once, Q through the minions, to hit the backline minions. And all you have to do that is walk up here, right? That's all you need to do. And you'll start pushing this in, and you need to beat the shit out of this cannon minion. I hope she has some sort of proc. You should be pinging her to take this cannon minion as soon as you can, after you hit those backline creeps with this. Because if you can push this into her tower, that's so good, because she's going to lose so many creeps. And you know that the Poppy was top side last time you saw her, so she's probably going to be bot side soon. But she's not going to be there now, because of the scuffle that just happened. So this gives you time to push this in, get wards over here. Maybe you can even take the Scuttle Crab, right? And you can just see what's going on. You can like look at what's happening at her camps, but you can do something else other than sitting here, because sitting in lane against these two is useless. But if you can push them in and go and ward and see what's going on the rest of the map, that's good. You may find a pink ward. You may be able to clear it. You're just doing something else is important. So consider that. Or you can Q through the cannon to hit those 2 backline minions. It really doesn't matter. Q through these, Q through these, Q through these. Push it, push it. Okay, yeah. Now the wave is going to be like right here. If you had pushed this wave, it would be under tower right now. But instead, she's going to get all of this CS, or at least most of it. And this is your fault. She'd have lost like 4 minions. Maybe even more, because considering how badly she's doing this right now, it's pretty funny. But now you have this, like, this is really bad. Where this wave is right now is so bad. Because if Poppy comes bot, you're fucked. You're fucked. What are you going to do? Like, even if you see her right here, that's too late. Because she's already, like, you're already, like, you'll be, like, right here by the time she gets right here. And then she slams you into a wall and you're fucking dead. Okay? Where the wave is right now is so bad. You never want the wave to be here. Never. When you're against someone, unless you are so fed that you are 100% sure that if anyone comes bot, you will kill them. That's the only time you'd want the wave to be here. Okay, so she's using all of her mana. Don't trade with her. Yeah, you don't want to trade with her. It's better to trade with Soraka. Oh, this is so bad. Don't go in, Lee. Okay. So just a fun fact, whenever you want to think about where the enemy jungler is, look at where your buffs when your buffs are spawning. Like, you know this red buff is spawning soon. So that means the enemy jungler is probably bot side. I mean, in this case, it wouldn't have, like, it doesn't work exactly like that because this Poppy did a weird clear, but she is bot side. So holy shit, this Zed is so bad. Holy shit, this LeBlanc is so bad. Oh my god, he ulted the clone. I'm tilted. Holy shit. Holy shit, she's a god. Okay, sorry. That's my bad. Yeah, you don't want to trade with her. Like, well, after she puts the E on you, you do need to trade back with her. Because otherwise you just take damage for free. Okay, this is where you 100% need to back off. Don't! Oh my god. Okay, you never let Poppy get, like, right here relative to you. Never. As if Poppy gets, like, between you and your turret, you should die, like, 99% of the time. So the fact that you let that happen was really bad. You don't want Poppy to be in that position ever. And if she does get in that position, you're probably gonna have to flash. So I see the Lucian throws are coming in hard. Oh, you got it the wrong one. So does this LeBlanc just carry the game for the enemy team? I'm trying to figure out what happens here. Or do you, like, feed the Tristana? It's another option. Lol. Okay, again, you're gonna push this wave and it's gonna end up, like, right there, and this is bad for you. Like, you can't stay up this far. I mean, luckily the Poppy's up top and this Tristana's just, like, auto-pushing you. But don't line up for him, please. Okay. Need to be hitting her. Okay. Yeah, that's why you don't want to ult until she uses her ult. Yeah, you needed to... You guys weren't on the same page. Like, she shouldn't engage so far from you because there's no way you could follow up on that. But you should probably try and stick close to your support. You don't want to be, like, right on top of them. But you want to be close enough that if they hit someone, you can follow up on it. I love watching autos fall across the map. Alright. So the LeBlanc has the 4-2-0. So she's the most fed member on the enemy team. Looking like one of those games. Okay, you need to learn how to set up your CS. Okay. Okay. I would not get Executioner's Calling. I understand that you want to do damage through the Soraka, but you don't need this right now, right? All you need to do is farm. You want your 2-item power spike, and you'd only get this if you want to kill them in lane. And the thing is, you don't have the damage to kill them in lane because you don't have the 2-item power spike that you need to kill people. So that's why you get those other 2 items first. You want to get your Black Cleaver, you want to get your Yomus, and then you can think about Executioner's Calling. Or even like if you're halfway through the second item and you can't quite finish it yet, that's okay because then you can build it. Because then you have some damage. But right now you do not have the damage to do anything to them. You have a fucking call. You're not going to kill them. Executioner's Calling is not worth it. It's better to just sit down here and farm and get some armor pen items that help you with your burst, because that would help you more than a fucking Executioner's Calling, right? You're trying to burst them. You need burst damage. That's the only way you're going to kill anyone through Soraka anyway. And this lane, like, since this first tower is still up, you don't have the time to just sit there and keep going on them and do the DPS necessary to get through a Soraka. So there's like, this Executioner's Calling just isn't worth it right now. Like, once a couple towers go down, maybe. Once you get into team fights where this actually matters, like, maybe. But right now, you're still in laning phase. And yeah, it's more important to just get your armor pen items quicker. No matter how frustrating Soraka is. But Soraka hasn't even been the one to cockblock you. Like, the fact that you don't have damage has been what's cockblocking you. Okay. And again, the wave is right where you don't want it to be, but this Tristana is so bad that she's just going to hit the wave anyway and not try and freeze it against you. Oh, don't stand on the silence. Okay, yeah, so this LeBlanc is going to be what wins the enemy team of the game. She's so fed. Okay, you see her? You should just walk the fuck away. I don't know why Lucian came. Okay, that's a good calling. Yeah, you need to, like, when you're exhausted like that, it's better to just use your time to move rather than do damage, because you're not going to do any damage anyway. Holy shit. You should have just focused the Poppy and killed her. Now you can go in. Oh, now you're in the... Oh my god. Holy shit. And you're gonna die to the LeBlanc, because LeBlanc is a fun champion. She should have just W'd and QR'd you. She didn't need to flash there. That's bad. Okay. So that... We'll watch that again. This whole fucking clusterfuck of bullshit. Let's watch the setup. Okay, so Poppy comes in. You should just not engage. You should be pinging her to retreat. Alright? Because, like I said, you do not win this 3v3. Even though Lee Sin is coming, first off, Lee Sin is not very tanky at all. She is so much more tanky. She has like double his HP and probably like double his resistances too. So look, fun fact. So he has 5175, she has 7149. Okay, so they have about the same resistances, but she has double health. And she has a lot more armor than you. And both of these guys, like both of you, both of the damage dealers on this side right now, this 3v3, deal AD. So this cannot go well. Like I said, Poppy single-handedly fucks all of your dashes, which happens, by the way. I know she fucks Lee Sin's dash. I think she fucks one other dash too. So this 3v3 is already bad. You should be pinging her to retreat, and you should be pinging him to retreat, because this doesn't go well for you. This 3v3 is bad for you three. because you have a million ways of interrupt. She has like her ult interrupts your ult and your dash, and it like yeah. So this just does not end well for you guys, no matter what. You should be pinging Lee Sin to retreat. Okay. So if I were you, I'd just go for the Soraka. Like, yeah. If you had hit the Soraka there instead of the that was a good calling, by the way. That actually did what it needed to do. And you needed to be, I think, yeah, you just needed to be hitting her instead this entire time, because she's been in range of you for a lot of this. You're also canceling a lot of autos. But she's been in range of you for a lot of the time. Like, if you had hit her at all earlier, I think this kills her. Yeah, Soraka would be dead right now if you had hit her earlier. And yeah, that's unfortunate. You should immediately, like, once she flashed, you should have just turned immediately back onto the Poppy, because you're not going to do anything to those guys unless they come back in purposely. You guys also don't want to fight in this minion wave. Like, you're taking so much damage from minions. And if you wanted to E back in and do something, you should have E back in and Q'd her to kill her. But instead, you're going to die. You're lucky that didn't stun you. She misses that. Again, she should have tried to go back on her instead. Like, Soraka should have died 3 times in this fight now. But instead, like, your focus was all wrong. Yeah, if you had killed Soraka, she probably would have died too. Like I said, she didn't need to do that. She had the damage to just W over the wall and, like, QR auto you. She did not need to fucking flash and take that damage. She should just W'd QR'd. W'd for positioning and QR'd to kill you. So yeah, if Soraka is standing in front of fights like that, she should just die. It's different in higher elos because, you know, Sorakas don't stand in the front of fights like this one did. But if she is standing in front of you, auto her. Kill her. She was right there. Because Soraka is going to be the one that carries fights, because she doesn't do anything other than heal people, and if she's dead, she can't heal people. And she'd be dead if your eyes might still be alive, or your eyes might have done enough damage for the Poppy for you guys to kill her. But these two would probably be dead if you'd hit Soraka instead. So that's that. So at this point, life is looking grim. LeBlanc has a 10 stack Magi's. Holy shit. Okay, he actually hit Shurikens. That was impressive. This tower is almost gone. If I were you, I would actually, life is hard. Fuck. It might be ARAM time, Kappa. It might be better to just, like, go mid and give up this tower, because this tower is so low. Like, yeah, if you had gone mid, you could have saved the mid tower. Benny Hill theme song, engage. Don't walk over it. Good. She should die there. Nope. Lee Sin doesn't know what to fucking... Okay. Going for the clone. Feels bad. You're dead. Holy. Alright, we'll watch that clusterfuck again. That was a very prolonged clusterfuck, too. I'll just watch what you're doing. Okay, so you avoid the silence. She gets chained. I would start... If I were you, I'd get back, like, right here, so I'm out of her ult range, and I'd start culling her to try and force her out of the fight so she doesn't do DPS. You can call her, mostly because she's in front of you. Yeah, that's what I'd do. So, yeah, because you don't want to be in auto range with her, because her E will out-trade you. You should just be calling her. Okay, Eing out there was not the right choice, I don't think. Like, you don't need to E at all. Because she's not going to, like, W in and try and kill you because you have a Rise to back you up. So you should have just stayed in and gone for the calling on her instead. Or you could have called those guys. But, like, if you can force her out of the fight, that's important. Because if she's not doing damage, like, once she starts getting cold, I don't think she's going to try and do damage to anyone in the fight. She's not going to do damage to you, and she's not going to do damage to those guys. So that's fine. You saved it for here. You missed most of the early cull. You should have known that that one was the real one. Okay, yeah. Unlucky. But yeah, you should have called her instead. This fight might have been okay. Because I think she would have been forced out of the fight if she took your full calling to the face, which she should have. The banana! Holy. And then Rise dies to LeBlanc. 22 stack LeBlanc life is looking pretty fucking grim. Unless she dies to the dragon there. Okay. Yeah. So at this point, LeBlanc is fed. Tristana got fed random kills. Life is looking pretty grim. Yeah, your goal should just be to push this back in and then go mid and group up with your team. You're not using your Qs very efficiently. Like, you should be trying to Q through as many minions as possible. Okay, at this point, why is my pause button not working? Okay, my pause button has stopped working. Rest in peace. But at that point, let's see. Okay, at this point, you don't want to be much further than this. Like, you cannot push past this at all. You probably shouldn't be past this, to be honest. Because all that's going to happen, especially with the Pantheon on the enemy team, is he's just going to ult behind you. Especially since he doesn't have a top tower to sit at anymore. So you shouldn't be up here at all. Oh, you just die. Feels point and click, man. That was an interesting E. Okay, so yeah. Like, once you lose this tower, especially when you're against things like LeBlanc and Pantheon especially, you do not want to be pushed up that far, because you'll just get picked off. That's the only thing that can happen. Unless you see the Pantheon top and the LeBlanc mid, you do not want to be bot. It's better to just, like, be here. Because now you're going to lose your tower for that. Yeah, LeBlanc is pretty fed. I think we all know how this game ends. Good old surrender at 20. But yeah, I don't think you should have pushed up so far bot. So there was a lot of wave control mistakes. A lot of not understanding like matchups as far as like how you play against Soraka and how you recognize who's jungler and who wins the 3v3. Whose jungler does what and who wins the 3v3. LeBlanc didn't really even roam this game. If you had played better, you probably could have actually won this game. Because you gave away a lot of free kills and you didn't play a lot of the fights, right? A lot of these fights, Tristana would have been, or at least in the two that they had, the two team fights that gave him like 10 kills or so, was she's just going to back there because she knows no one can do anything about it. Yeah. You play fights differently, especially the bot lane 3v3 and that first 5v5 around the dragon, like the bot side of dragon. And I don't know if you would have won, because LeBlanc has 25 stack Magias with the Zanyas. Like, she actually knows what she's doing. Holy shit. She bought little Zanyas. Okay, never mind. It's versus I said. But, yeah. I don't know if you would have won this, but it would have been a lot closer. A lot closer if you just... Ooh. There she goes. So yeah, think about 3v3s. Learn what you need to do with the waves. Don't like let the enemy freeze it outside their tower. Don't give them a way to do that, because if you were versus a competent ADC player or if she wasn't playing Tristana, that would have pushed, or that would have been like stuck there, frozen there for the entire game. Recognize who wins 3v3s and 2v2s, and think about like the different interactions. Like I said, you got your ult canceled by Tristana's ult when you shouldn't have. Yeah, mostly lane control stuff. That could have gone a lot better. You were 30 CS behind at the end of the game. I think that was mostly from the rest of the game, though. But in laning phase, when you guys are like even, could have been ahead if you knew how to control the wave.